here we go. Miguel Rodriguez here for All Things Film. It is an All Things Film podcast. Obviously, the name kind of suggests that we're talking about movie making and specifically feature films. Okay, this is exactly the topic I want to touch on, and I'm glad you guys are here to talk about it with me. I am still learning. I am still going through the process. It has been years being a part of the industry, even in a small way, for most of that time. But it's not something that I am looking forward to shying away from. It's something I'm looking forward to getting more involved with, to talk to more people who are doing it, who are progressing in it, who are succeeding at it, who are in moments of failing at it, wherever you are in the world and wherever kind of films you're making and whoever you're working with. I want to talk to you about it. All right. And this first inaugural episode 0 podcast, I hope will kind of demonstrate a little bit about me, because I think that's important, that you should know what the host is all about, and a little bit about the direction I want to take what we're going to be talking about going on, because it's already started. There are episodes that are on their way to you. This is just a little introduction, probably won't be very long, just enough to wet the whistle and to see exactly where we're going to go from here. Now, as I said, it's All Things Film. ATF right there, right off the bat. A lot better than the other ATF that you might know of. This is the basic format. We're going to talk to each other. We're going to talk about films. We're going to interview filmmakers, directors, editors, writers, actors, producers, people in marketing, whatever aspect of the film industry, because it encapsulates so much of the business world. It's more of the creative process, yes, that we all love, but it's even more so the business aspects that we have to appreciate in order to continue to make great projects, to tell stories, to connect with audiences, connect with other people like ourselves, like those we're trying to reach out to, basically trying to make each other feel good for about an hour to 90 minutes to 4 hours long, depending on what movie it is, while also being within the realms of, the law, which would be nice. But, by digressing, there will be times where things are not always on the up and up. But that's not neither here nor there, all right? What we're going to talk about is the movies, 3 of them in particular, that got me into filmmaking, 2 experiences that made me want to continue, and 1 person that inspired me and continued to show me support and help, and really just was a beacon of inspiration. I know that sounds really, really, really cheesy, but it's true. And I hope if you are a fellow filmmaker out there, you have those films that inspired you to make them. I hope you have experiences that made you want to continue and knew that you could also be a part of it. And people, not just one person, there's many people I'll talk about throughout the podcast, but just today, one that inspire you and help you stay within it. Because it's very easy to become discouraged in an industry like this. It's very easy to put it to the wayside. You have more important things to focus on. There's bills to pay. There are more steady careers out there. There is, quote unquote, more important things to do. But I don't know if that's really true. But we'll get into that another day. But I'll start right now with these films. All right, let's go with number 1. And it's always going to be my number 1 as far as films that make me want to be a filmmaker. And that is George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. That is right. The black and white Night of the Living Dead is got to be one of my very favorite movies of all time. I'm not going to say it's my very favorite, although that would be an easy contention for that. It's just the fact that at any given moment that will change from top to bottom what the list looks like, a top 10, pretty much a top 100. There's no easy way to do it. But that particular black and white old school horror that launched an entire genre of filmmaking and really did inspire a lot of people to become filmmakers, not just myself, but so many out there who saw, put together a crew, work with the budget you got, the actors that you have, and get some great talent out of it. There was no bad performances in that movie, I would say, and have a script and an idea and go for it. The fact that it is in public domain through whatever instances might have led to that has just helped out the industry in a whole, because it just provided a lot of people out there with a chance to watch something absolutely spectacular. And now it's in the background of I don't know how many movies, most notably off the top of my head, Shaun of the Dead, where they are watching that for a couple clips. If you're looking to to get into the industry, or you are just looking for a really fun movie, or you're a zombie fan, or you're a horror fan, or you want something to joke around with, because let's face it, it's not that scary anymore. It's just fun. It's fun to me, at least. I think zombies are scary, but black and white slow moving guys, I don't know. I don't know. It's not the scare factor. It's the fact that it was just so wonderful and hit me at just the right time when I was young, that really led me to believe, like, man, wish I could do something like this. And that's what I will consider for Night of the Living Dead, and then all of the other Romero movies, all of the Dead series, the Crazies, whatever else you might have, Creep shows, shorts, all of it's fantastic. Even Knight Rider, I don't care what anyone says, absolutely love those movies. He might, yeah, you know what, he is my favorite director. So I will gladly own up to that with gusto, because he also comes back in later on in this story. So we'll continue for now. The second movie I'd like to talk about is real quick again, is going to be The Warriors. That's right. That 80s Warriors movies. I mean, can you dig it? Can you? Because you should. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to give any plot away. We can talk about it in a full episode sometime, give it a full breakdown. But the amount of effort that went into this movie, the budget they had, which was not a small feat, but by today's standards, you are looking at a category of films that don't get made as much anymore. It's a middle budget, where you do not see that in Hollywood as much anymore. Horror is saved for the low budget, and then the spectacular, huge Avatar and the Avengers and whatever else goes into those categories of just huge movies, the budgets fall on two very opposite ends of the spectrum. This is one of those projects that fell right in the middle and did so much with it and did so well with the storytelling and the people they have behind it. It is an experience. It absolutely is, which is, again, something I'm going to talk about in a moment, because that is one of the experiences that led me to realize I need to be a part of this. I need to make films. I need to tell stories. I need to entertain people. And The Warriors, at the very least, I think everybody out there will be entertained by it. It may not tell a story of, proud heroes, kind of, sort of, depending on if you want to get real Greek mythology with it. Oh gosh, here I am. I'm going to start ranting about this movie because I love it so much. Just watch for those gangs, watch for the costumes, for the music to it. The scoring is wonderful. I love the acting again in it as well. It's almost like a comic book come to life, mixed with a Greek mythology story, mixed with the background of seedy New York. You really can't miss. And I honestly think the filmmakers and the actors in it did such a phenomenal job that in certain parts there was crimes happening because of that movie. And that's actually another story for another day, but definitely something to look into, guys. Watch The Warriors for sure. And the third movie, this is going to be way out in left field, but and it honestly, it's not even one of my very favorites. It just so happens to be a story that I'm not saying that I relate to it. Okay. I don't have a drinking problem, probably. And I've never been kicked out by my wife because I've never been married. And I've never, well, no, that's not true. I use my younger brothers for free labor all the time. I pay them, I guess, as much as this guy did. Anyway, Will Ferrell in Everything Must Go. There's a story about a man at his very lowest, just lost his job. His wife leaves him. He is a struggling, recovering alcoholic who decides to go off the deep end and just drink and live in his front yard after being kicked out with all his stuff. And his sponsor for AA / one of his best friends / dude who is plowing his wife is a police officer or detective, I believe, who is trying to help him get his shit together, even though he is the one kind of putting him out in the street right there. Man, the layers to it and the side characters, the young boy, the pregnant woman across the way, the jackass older or younger boss of his, younger, it all fills a very unique telling of the American story. I think it is that moment of being at your very lowest and coming out the other side a little better for it. I think we've all been in that situation where you are hitting rock bottom, and then all of a sudden rock bottom gets further down and you're at clay bottom. I don't know what comes after rock bottom. I really don't, and I don't want to find out too much. Um, but he finds it. He finds it all right, and in a twist that no one sees coming. No, you absolutely see it coming, as the title suggests. He sells everything. He gets rid of his belongings, puts that money together, and he's ready to start another chapter of his life. It is not a twist and turns. It's not super funny of a movie, even though it's Will Ferrell. It's not some big glitzy glamorous thing. It's not a huge production. It's just a really amazing story. I think it's a really true to life story, and I love those kind of movies. Those are the kind of things I would love to tell, and that's the kind of stuff I want to tell, including zombie movies and perhaps some gang related stuff as well. May not be my life, but I think those stories are fascinating. I think they're captivating. And I think when told very well, there's still a lot of lessons to be learned in any one of those, including the zombie movies. There's lessons in there. You watch the Romero films and you will see a clear societal point of view that he takes throughout the years every time he makes another zombie movie. So I don't care what you say. There is some lesson and wisdom in those zombie movies, at least those ones. Maybe not so much Resident Evil or none. Well, no, Shaun of the Dead had some good lessons in it too. So yeah, take that, people who look down on zombie movies. Man. But going back for a moment to the experiences, two experiences, both included inside of those first movies. I will start with the earlier one, and that's going to be a very late night show in Ventura, California called Insomniac Theaters. This is not a new idea. It's not exclusive to Ventura or the Mann Theater, which is no longer there, I believe. But it is an idea that I absolutely loved as a kid. And it was a midnight showing of an older movie. I saw Jurassic Park, The Godfather, Boulevard Nights, Back to the Future, Enter the Dragon, and of course, The Warriors on the big screen with the most die-hard fans of film you could think of. Okay. Ventura is only about an hour and a half from LA. And I would say the weirdos in Ventura, excuse me, are more genuinely weird and a little more kind-hearted than the LA weirdos. And those are the people I grew up with and absolutely loved. I am one of them myself, even though I might not live in Ventura anymore. I am a weirdo from day one until whatever day might be the last one. And that'll be have another podcast for it. I'll have to pre-record my death podcast. I think that'd be awesome. Now, another story from another time. Excuse me. The idea I'm getting behind here is that you sit in the theater at night, late at night. Got your popcorn here for those who can't see it because you're listening instead of watching, which is totally fine, but it is on YouTube as well. You have your big soda, which I was allowed to drink because it was late at night, and my dad did not care because it was not even a school night. It was a Friday night, and everyone was there to watch the Warriors screaming along when they're chanting about how one gang can run that city, cheering on the fight scenes, laughing at all the jokes and all the funny parts, quoting along with certain characters. It was just such a wonderful moment. And you might out there might know of another thing that does that called the Velvet Darkness here in Bakersfield, California, that does live action Rocky Horror showing. And it's done across the country. It's done across the world, where the freaks and geeks of the night get together again and become unconventional conventionalists. And we watch a movie together, the same movie every time. Who cares? People act it out. We all shout. We throw stuff. And you have a good time with other like-minded people. That's what I love about movies, and that's what I want to bring to other people. And maybe once in a while, bring those who didn't even realize they wanted to be a part of it into the fold. You know, maybe you've never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show or The Warriors, but after hearing about this, or you might recommend to someone else who hasn't seen it and they love it, just something to bond over, something that can be as important as a kid going with their dad to their first baseball game, or a mother-daughter bonding over their nails, or something ridiculous. I know I'm being very stereotypical there, but you know what I'm saying, okay? Give me a break. I'm just giving top of the head examples on that one. The second experience is going to go back to the first movie, but not watching it. When I was 17 years old, I had the opportunity to travel from the West Coast to the East Coast and go to a little film festival called Insomniac, or no, excuse me. This was Saturday Nightmares in Newark, New Jersey, at a beautiful theater, which I cannot remember the name for the life of me at the moment. That doesn't matter. None of it mattered. The only thing that matters is I got to meet George A. Romero for the first time. And in high school, I decided, yes, I am going to write scripts, and I still do to this day. I probably have about 20 features under my belt right now. I'm not saying they're good, but they're written, and I think that's the first step. You got to keep writing. Don't ever stop. At least 110 pages, and keep going if you can. So I have this. At the time, it was like 75, maybe 85 pages, if I remember correctly, non-formatted properly, printed out from my own computer at home with a orange cover for it. Just Dead Beginnings. The name of the film, Dead Beginnings. It was obviously a zombie film. I mean, come on, who is my hero? What am I gonna do? I'm waiting in line for such a long time. See the main actor, the main villain from Dawn of the Dead. No, excuse me, Land of the Dead. Drunk off his ass, talking to all the girls there. I'm waiting patiently in line for George A. Romero to give me my photo op moment and for me to maybe hand him my script. I don't know if he's gonna take it, or maybe throw it away the next day, but I know he was very appreciative at the moment, and the fact that his handler, gave me an email, like, hey, contact, and we'll see if we can help you with this at all. We'll give you some pointers. And I was elated. Got my picture back, gave him the script. I bought one of his signed, and I still have that to this day. It is Dawn of the Dead, which is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. Um, they're all my favorite. I love all of his movies. I can't deny that. But I bought one script. I wasn't gonna buy all of them, and one poster that he signed for me. And that was the first time I met George A. Romero, which just kind of fueled the fire from a 17-year-old kid, traveled across the country to meet this guy. And he was nice enough to not quash my dreams of being a filmmaker. It's absolutely phenomenal when you have somebody that you regard so highly give you that moment. And I hope that all of you out there have that moment, whether you're into filmmaking or not. If you're just listening to this for the fact that you like to hear about films, I hope you have that moment in whatever industry or passion you choose, that you have someone you look up to and they are as great as my hero was. The old saying, never meet your heroes. That's absolutely wrong, because my hero was awesome. Rest in peace. I got to see him a couple years ago, about a year before he passed away, on my birthday. And he pointed at me, very, very frail at the time, and he remembered New Jersey. And that blew my mind. And that was the best birthday gift I ever got, probably. Don't tell my mother, because she'll get mad about that, because she gave birth to me and whatnot. But George A. Romero is just the experiences that I got from that one gentleman, that guy, definitely has made me continue what I am doing today, which has led to other great experiences in the industry, some not so great. We'll go into those another time, with either producers or distributors or unruly peoples, whatever it might have been, and then into some of the greatest friendships and some of the greatest people I've ever met because of this industry. And it is not unlike anywhere else in the world. You're going to meet good and bad people. You're going to have good and bad experiences. But I don't think as many industries, even other creative industries, have as much magic as movie magic. All right, let's just be honest about that. This is the one. This is the Neo of experiences in life, I think. And if you can just get a glimpse into it, maybe it's not for you. That's okay. But just those glimpses, those behind the scene moments of not just on set, not just the lines, not just the special effects, but the overall picture, it really does show that filmmaking can be movie magic, literal magic sometimes. And those are the moments I love seeing captured on screen. So that was 3 films, 2 experiences, and I want to talk about one person. And you may not know her quite yet, but if you do not, you are going to, because she is so fantastic. I don't know how to describe how incredible I think this lady is. I met her before the pandemic at a signing for some contracts for a film that we're working on together. I won't give the name away right now, just because that's another story for another day. But the fact that I got to work with her on one of the first feature films that I ever got to be a part of, I was so blown away from day one of her ability and her attitude and her persistence and her professionalism and creative side, everything wrapped into one. This is Renee Michelle Aranda. And I could have mentioned quite a few people in this moment. I could have mentioned my brother, for always being part of it for the films, but he's going to be on with me from time to time. So I'm not going to give him that fat a head. I will mention my uh, brother from another mother in Fresno, Michael Rodriguez. Same name, different people, I promise you. My filmmaking buddies in Texas or the ones in Florida, all the other ones in LA. But Renee Michelle Aranda, or whatever she might have changed her name to, because she did get married. I don't remember if she changed her name or not, which kind of hurts because she could have waited. I was almost ready to get married, but it's okay. It's okay. That's I'll let it be. I'll let it be for now. I'm just glad she's happy. But when you see someone with that much talent in front of you, while you're pointing the camera at her, it's so impressive and it's awe-inspiring. And the fact that she's worked so hard, so many things, and done well in so many projects that you guys are going to know her if you haven't already, because she is incredible and she's one of those people that inspire me to continue to work towards being a filmmaker and to become more part of the industry, to put out more projects, to tell more stories. Incredible person. Incredible person. And I hope to get her on here to talk about her experiences one of these days as well, because it would dwarf anything I could tell you right off the bat. My goal overall for this is not to tell you my experiences so much, because they will come along as it relates to others. They will come along when we have moments of film analytics where we're going to talk about a movie and we'll talk about it in a very subjective way as far as how it was made, go into a little bit of the plot and a personal opinion on it. But for the most part, we will talk about the back end of the projects, the budget, the marketing, how it was on set, things like that. Any kind of facts we can find about these bigger movies, and then hopefully get some names of some independent films out there that I hope you guys will enjoy, because there's quite a few I love and that I don't hear people talking about too much. I would love to get the word out about those. And that's why I want to interview more filmmakers. More filmmakers, and to a certain extent, or to a very large extent, honestly, film festivals. People who run film festivals, who are putting together exactly what I am doing on a stream, on a podcast, on a digital format, they are doing in person, making these groups, these audiences come together, putting filmmakers together, networking, learning from each other, just enjoying each other's experiences, because it is an experience every time. Short film, episodic, web series, feature film, documentary, whatever it might be, it is an experience to behold. And I would love to have, if you are someone out there who's working, I'm looking forward to the feature films. That's what I'm looking forward to most. But if there's another project that we need to talk about, let's talk about it. All right. These are going to come out on a very regular basis. I will have a more dedicated, more scheduled approach coming very soon as I get everything up. And I will lead you through my experiences of what I'm making. There is a film that I'm working on. Hopefully, we'll be shooting middle of February, called Downtown and Out. It is a comedy. It is ridiculous, and it's going to be shot very quickly for very little. And we're going to hit the ground running really hard this year, guys. There's going to be quite a few films coming from me, from other incredible artists who are already working on things, who already have things coming out. And it's going to be a lot of content for you to watch, and a lot of content for you to listen if you are so inclined. But I hope you will take the moments to watch some of these films we talk about, to rewatch some of them, to watch some of the other work from some of the people we interview. I've got 2 film festival interviews already ready to go, and I will have those up a little bit after this one. I don't want to bombard you right away, but I kind of want to at the same time, because there's so much talent out there. I don't know if 2024 can hold all of what 2024 has to offer. That's how much movies get made and how many people are doing good work out there. So I want you to grab some popcorn. I want you to grab your favorite drink. I mean, now that I'm an adult, it's not just soda anymore, but coffee as well. Yeah, I'm talking alcohol as well. We'll be drinking while we do this from time to time. Okay, it's going to be fun. It's going to be wild, and it's going to be hopefully informative. It's going to inform me, which is my selfish reason for doing this as well. I want to learn from these people, and I absolutely know I will. I already have from 9 different people in 2 interviews, if that makes any sense to you. So get ready for that, and there's much more to come. So I appreciate your time. that's about where I wanted to be anyway. I don't want to go too much longer, but I will talk to you guys very soon. Thank you so much. Please subscribe over on YouTube. Check out the Facebook page, Instagram. Check out All Things Film, and check out Filmmaker Mafia if you want to get some cool stuff. It's a very cool designs and whatnot, and just some cool swag. Never hurts. So check them out as well. And do me a favor, share this with anyone you think would be interested. It'd be wonderful if you do that. All right, guys, y'all have a great one. And if you would, in the comments or email me at allthingsfilm@gmail.com, email me your 3 movies, 2 experiences, and 1 person that keeps you in the film industry or just in life that you wanna give props to. All right, I'd love to hear that as well. All right, guys, have a great one, and I will catch you next time.